welcome to Old Friends, New Perspectives, a podcast where friends and laughter meet society and culture with your host,
Jill,
Brandon,
and Dakota. Let's get into it. All right, Old Friends, New Perspectives. First episode. How y'all feeling?
we're here.
That was Brandon for the listeners. All right, so just to get it started, let's talk about how did we get this started? Like, how did this come to be?
Well, I know from my perspective, Dakota was excited about getting something started. And I know him and Brandon, this was something they had been thinking about, but I had to come in to get it started and get it going.
That would be accurate because I had been thinking about it, been talking about it, but I couldn't seem to get anybody over the finish line.
I was waiting on someone fun to join the team, so Jill, that's why I was glad you came on.
Wow.
Now, you're wrong for that.
Yeah. Wow.
There you go.
So why are you here then?
Come on. I'm nervous.
Okay, so basically it didn't come together until Jill got into the equation, and that was when we were just at one random day when we were at Roca, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and so since then we've probably been about a month or two to kind of get this off the ground.
Absolutely. But I think this has been great timing in that we've learned a lot.
And I hope it's recording.
Yeah.
We're definitely recording. See, the personalities are going to shine through because here we go with the bullshit.
Also, I feel like we probably spent the most time that we spent with each other in years?
Oh, most definitely, collectively.
Yeah.
Well, I can say that I think that goes for Jill, but I see you every week almost.
Well, I was meaning collectively, like Jill said.
Oh, all together. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
We're a throuple.
What would be our throuple name?
I don't know what that is.
It like a couple, but with three people.
Like a threesome?
Not a threesome.
Okay, we're not getting sexual, but yeah.
So, aside from how the podcast began, well, I guess that's kind of like the basis of it. What? Joe, just say what you were saying. Oh, you're saying talking to the mic?
Make sure you're speaking into the mic. For episode 1, we want to make sure that we are all speaking into the mic, and I felt like Dakota was going out a little bit. So
I do seem like I'm going out a little bit, but I don't think it's because I'm moving. It was like maybe there's an audio issue because none of us are engineers, but I feel like I'm going in and out, but hopefully it doesn't sound like that on the other end. What are you guys hearing?
Well, I thought maybe because your voice isn't melodious like Jill's and mine.
You're rage baiting me. I'm about to give you what you want.
not only am I the glue that holds this together, but I'm also a referee.
Well, I want to get into this being episode 1, how we met, like our backstory. I think would be good for the listeners so they can kind of get an idea of who they're actually listening to, people that actually know each other, not just, a group of strangers that got together. So I'll start because I think I'm actually the bridge between the two, if you will, because Jill and I met in 5th grade.
Wow.
30 years ago.
Oh, no. Now, we're not telling ages. We ain't going to do that. But, okay, we'll go with that.
30 years. 5th grade was 30 years ago.
For sure.
We were at a visual arts school, full of young creatives and some people that were there, like, I don't know, with a voucher or something. But we were there because we were actually creatives. And so Jill and I were in class together, and we both shared a love for profanity.
Cussing.
And Jill actually taught me how to cuss under a oak tree.
What was that word of the first lesson?
Fuck.
Brandon loves to tell this story as adults to everyone he introduces me to in all kinds of places. And I usually am taken aback by it. But, I have to take ownership of it because it is what it is, right?
Yep. And then we went to middle school. We traveled to middle school together. And Jill was the queen of our bench. Remember we had that bench in the morning, and then Jill was like, where the fuck did they come from? They can't sit here. And yeah.
So you're telling our listeners that I was a bully?
No, I don't think you were a bully. I just think, you're a mean girl a little bit, but it's okay.
Well, in middle school, if anybody knows anything about middle school, you got to do what you got to do to survive.
Yes, you do.
And we came from a school that filtered in with a group of
Riff Raff.
I'm not a group of kids
Vouchers.
that were not a part of the visual and performing arts.
We like to call them the traditional students.
That would probably be the most appropriate name for it, Brandon. I would definitely agree with you on that. And so I think at that point I was in survival mode,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, you know, they picked on us. They said certain things to us. They had choice names, I know for me. And so I had to let them know.
I think
Look,
I think I was a traditional whisperer because I got along with the hardnecks for the
Oh,
white
I
folks.
got
You
a-
are pretty common, so it makes sense.
Yeah,
I got along with them once I sacked them out.
yeah.
So guess what? The cussing lesson from elementary school,
It paid off.
It paid off.
It paid off. And then then we went to high school, and that
Well,
is where,
let's back it up a little bit. I remember the cussing story. So one of you had, I think, some type of health ailment and had a severe.
I had the croup.
Yeah.
We'll go with that. So I would get the croup, which was like a hacking cough.
Could you demonstrate that for us?
No, I will not. And so I was coughing. I had a coughing fit in class. Jill was in the classroom
How did you
next
respond to
door.
that?
Jill was in the classroom next door, and she screams out, "Brandon, shut the hell up!"
From the next class.
From the
over.
next classroom over. And that kind of summed up our relationship, if you will. And then we went to high school in the 9th grade, and that is where we met Dakota. And I think, Dakota, it's safe to say that you had kind of been to a lot of middle and elementary schools. Kind of had bounced around.
Well, first
a
of
little
all,
bit.
let's be clear. I'm not this transient or troubled youth.
But did you not go to a lot of schools?
That's not the point. That's not the point.
It's a simple question.
I went to 2 different middle schools, and that's only because I went to the first one, and then my mom got married, and then we moved. And so at that point, there was all those districts and zoning things. And so I had to go to another school, and I did not want to go. But yes, I did go to 2 different middle schools, and I only went to 1 high school. Well,
No, you went to 3 high schools.
Initially. We're talking about 9th grade.
I'm like, wait a minute, we met at one, and
But
then y'all went to another
that
one.
wasn't the point of questioning.
No, there was one in between the third one. You didn't know that?
What you talking about? Oh, high schools?
Yeah.
Well, you were talking about middle schools. I went to 2 middle schools.
I know, but Jill was saying I don't think she knew about. You knew Dakota went to a 3rd high school too, right?
No, I am not.
Oh, no,
okay, I'm learning things while we're recording. So let's get back to how we met Dakota.
So in 9th grade, I was in physical science class, and very studious, sat on the first row, and Dakota sat in the back with a bunch of the riffraff, if you will, and they kept up a lot of noise in class, a lot of noise. It was
I'm a man of the people.
It was a lot of snickling, and so our teacher moved him directly behind me. And
Well, he was doing the same thing at the front.
and I remember Dakota was friends with one of my cousins. And so the first thing I said to him, I was like, "Hey, do you know such and such?" Because I'm not going to say her name on here. But do you know such and such? He was like, "Oh, yeah." I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's my cousin." And he was like, "Okay," and that was it. But it wasn't until we had a
Why?
test.
What does it matter? Why do you want to know?
We had a test, and then I was cheating off of the girl in front of me. And Dakota was sitting behind me, and he was going, "What's the number?" And so I was ignoring him. And then he goes, "Oh, you act like you can't hear me." I'm going to get loud here.
Dakota, I'm so shocked.
Oh.
Like,
And so and that's kind of how our friendship started. But I need to go on the record of saying, when I first met Dakota, I did not like him because he kept up a lot of noise in the back of the class. It was disruptive. And so then we all kind of parted ways 9th grade and went to different high schools. But Dakota couldn't come to the school I went to because his mother punished him, and he had to go to a school where there were a lot of traditional people.
It was all traditional.
Yeah.
There were no academic programs or
Did this school start with a B?
it did.
Oh, Lord.
And she forced me to go to that school. And then after I did, she said if I did well, I could go to the school where Brandon was, which was always my second choice of high schools. And so,
And that was that. And so, and I can't say, but we stayed connected during that, I guess that purgatory time, if you will, when he could talk on the phone, because Dakota used to be punished a lot. And
punished a lot,
and we'd have to call
Once again, let me also reiterate that I was not a troubled youth, but I did not have the best academic skills, and so I would be punished for my grades. I had about I won't say my average, but I graduated from college and I have a good job, so that's all that matters. But I wasn't a troubled youth. I was only punished because my mother was fairly strict, if you will. And so I just couldn't talk on the phone while she was home.
And he would have to hurry up and get off the phone like he was in an abusive relationship. Like when his mama van would pull up, he would go, gotta go, click.
Because this was the age of landlines.
Yeah.
And so I could not talk on the phone. And even then when I got a cell phone, I didn't really have money to put the minutes on it until I got a job.
But I have to go back to this 9th grade when our relationship, when we first met Dakota, right? I did not take Dakota as that kid. You seemed shy.
What you mean? Like it's being talkative and whatnot?
Right.
Oh, well, I mean, sometimes it takes other students to bring that out of kids. He was comfortable with them, I guess. So that's why he did a lot of talking.
Yeah, and maybe that's what it was, because I know we would act up together because we already had our bond and we had the kids that came with us. And so.
Because we would act out movies on the playground. Remember that?
Oh my gosh.
Brandon, act like you're snatching my purse. We're in New York.
Until the purse broke.
Yeah, we did that in 9th grade.
Yeah.
But
remember, we're creatives. We are constantly looking for things.
We came from the gifted and talented school.
Congratulations.
So yeah, but and then we got to eventually Dakota made it to our school at 11th grade. But see, the difference was when Dakota came to his last stop, he knew a lot of those people there because he had, like I said, he had gone to all those middle schools,
and 2 middle schools, and that's not why I knew all the people. I knew all the people because those people had got filtered in from my main middle school that I was at first, and so those kids naturally transitioned onto that same high school of the same name. And so that is why I knew all of them, not because I had went to so many middle schools.
Well, yeah, he found his footing there, and then I think it's interesting that when we went to college, because you and Dakota started off at the same university.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, y'all did.
Our freshman year.
And then
You don't remember that?
You were at Southeastern?
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't know we were naming institutions.
I was looking at you like you don't remember. I'm just trying to make you remember without saying the name. But yes.
And then that school was trash, and
the school was not trash, but it was very like one horse town.
Oh, I do recall. It's been so many eons. We've been out of college, undergrad for so long, and it was nothing going on there. So
it was.
And I went to the quote unquote at the time. It was
party school for sure.
One of the party schools. And I remember calling the corner, be like, man, you just need to transfer over here because, he wanted to pledge and yada, yada, yada. And at the time, they didn't have the organization that he wanted to, but we had it there. And
that was my main way of getting out. Oh, and because my mother was also trying to make me ride the bus everywhere I went because I didn't have a car. And so my main selling point was like, oh, I can pledge there because they don't have it at this campus. And then also they have a bus system. Like I wasn't enthused to ride the bus, but that was on her thing. So I was like, well, they have a bus system and they don't even have a bus system out here. So at least I'd be able to get around. And she was like, oh, that does make sense. And so, yeah, I was able to, that was one of my selling points to get to my other college where I finished.
One thing we will say, let's see, we can refer to Dakota's mother as Mom T.
Watch it.
No, we're not gonna say her name, but she did not play.
No, I was gonna say what you're gonna say.
Yeah, she did not play. So much so it would be, hey Dakota, you coming home this weekend? He was like, oh no, XYZ. And then sometimes I would come and pick him up, and and then he came to the other school where I was, and we had a great time.
Because there were no good times going on where I was.
Yeah. And I think it's safe to say it's because I think it's safe to say I made your college. Me telling you about my school made your college experience what it was. Because I could have been. I wouldn't say all that. Because I giving
yourself a lot of credit.
Because I could have been like, oh no, you just might as well stay where you at X, Y, and Z. But I think I did a good job of convincing.
Brandon likes to take the credit for many things. You will find that.
And accountability for nothing.
I'm about to start cussing.
Hey, go ahead.
Feel free.
But yeah, and then life happens, and we all finished school and went into our different professions, if you will, but all have stayed connected, which is I think a great feat, because there are a lot of people can't say that they have the same friends they had in high school, middle school, especially elementary school. Because I know, Jill, you and I, we run into people sometimes, but we don't talk to them as much as we do, which is a blessing, to be able to say, hey, I've had this friend since the 5th grade for 30 plus years, in an age where you get blocked by somebody you just met 2 weeks ago. So, yeah.
Most definitely. I think that, having a long lasting friendship says a lot, right? It says a lot about what we value in each other, what we continue to build, and what's brought us to creating another opportunity to express ourselves
and connect.
And maybe, hopefully, inspire other people to connect back with their friends, people that they've maybe lost touch with, just to have those conversations and remember when and X, Y, and Z. Because I think, as crazy as everything is in the world right now, it's good to try to, get back to your core self as best you can. And sometimes people can help you do that, people that you may have fell out of touch with.
Most definitely. Social media is rampant. We use it, but it's nothing like, face-to-face conversations, engagement.
Pizza, ice cream, all those good dates and whatnot, talking over a good meal. Yeah. And speaking of social media, I kind of want to get into something that I read, because we're talking about college and of course Greek organizations and all that, because all three of us are in a Greek organization. We won't be saying which organizations, but we are a part of the Big Five, and if you know, you know.
Greek snob.
But let's talk about one of the recent organizations had a boule, or no, it was a regional conference, and they chose to have Trick Daddy come and perform. And so I think
that was a choice.
It was a choice. It was a choice to the point where Trick Daddy got up and showed up as his absolute self, and ended up getting his mic unplugged, and they cut it short. And then he took to social media.
Justice for Trick.
And
justice for Trick. But, when we talk about being in these organizations, there are committees. There was an entertainment committee. And I guess where I get lost in all of this is that the entertainment committee
saw fit
after listening to this person's music, reviewing their social media, and said, oh yeah, we going through with Trick Daddy. I couldn't understand that. Trick
Daddy.
And and I am not a rap music person, but I know enough to know that, enough about him to know that he would not have been on my docket to bring, because I think at one point he told the group of women, quote, how many of you want to have your blanks AIDS?
Blank what?
And so,
but I will say, first of all, Trick Daddy is Trick Daddy. Let's not get it confused. We know his catalog. We know how Trick Daddy is coming. Anybody who knows Trick Daddy knows Trick Daddy, especially in Florida. And to Trick's point, Trick said, everybody who got one of them wanted 8. So,
oh my God, is that what he said?
But you would think that Trick Daddy is Trick Daddy, but you would think that somebody on his team kind of would have been like, well, Trick, you go do this show, but let me tell you a little bit about this organization, about these women.
Trick knew who they was.
Right, but I guess he just really had a very high level of IDGAF.
Or authenticity. Tomato.
Okay, but let's get to the just plain and simple here. We are from the era of tapes and CDs. Correct. Okay? And so, as I understand, every artist had a clean and an explicit version of their music. And so what I didn't understand is, okay, this is how you roll other places, right? But for this group, there was not a clean version.
So, again, yes and no. So, yes, typically you had the edited version that you can get, on a Walmart CD, opposed to like Circuit City, where you can get the explicit version. But for all those listening who don't know what Circuit City is, that's it's like a modern day Best Buy. But basically, he was saying like, so some of his songs, like maybe if he did, I don't know,
Sing one of the songs.
I'll reference it. So let's say, like, for instance, if he did like Take It to the House, he could probably do an edited version of that, because it's just like a turn up song.
Oh, I remember that. Take it to the house.
Yeah.
Take it to the house. I remember that.
Thank you for that. And so, but for other songs in his catalog that are a little bit more, direct,
like
and
what?
explicit, Jump on the Beep. There's no way to really sing Jump on the without saying Jump on the.
And so that's where I have to go back to the entertainment committee and how this went up the chain. And no one said, but you know what? We want a Florida artist, but we cannot have Trick Daddy. To me, there was a lapse in.
Artists?
Uncle Luke was there.
Uncle Luke, really?
Uncle Luke was there.
But Uncle Luke is a explicit artist as well.
What does he sing?
Pop that coochie.
Okay, so Uncle Luke was there, but Uncle Luke did.
Pop that P word.
All of his songs were done without vulgarity.
Oh.
So meaning that there is a way to provide restraint. Now we are talking about, to me, as an individual, take yourself out of the artist, right? As an individual, how are you carrying yourself in a group full of dignified women that are a part of college educated, professional women? And to me, as a individual, as a man, whatever you want to describe, this is how you chose to present yourself to a group of said women.
I think for me, it's just I do see all sides of this, but I think that the ultimate responsibility lies with I guess it's 50-50 to me, because yes, to your point, Trick could have said, hey, I'm going to kind of filter myself and really just still give them the best show, but filter myself because I know who's in the room. But at the same time, Miss Regional Director lady, she could have also said, hey, I know who this is, and let me try to have a real sit down with him and talk about a set list and what types of songs he's going to be singing and what version of the songs he's going to be singing, and if there's any room for compromise. Because also, to Trick's point, he said in his rant that you don't get to tell him what to sing because he's not a wedding singer, and he going to sing what he want to sing the way he want to sing.
And is the same regional director, is that the one that he went after in his rant, like cussed out?
He didn't necessarily curse her out. He just called her out of her name. First he said, man, F them hoes. And he was like, man, no, man, I F with them, man. I'm not going to disrespect them like that. But, it's just that lady, man, that director, she playing on my name, bro. And, yeah, he wasn't having it.
Well, I think it's safe to say she's probably been removed from her post. She probably got a letter from the head organization, if you will.
Relieving her of her duties.
Yeah, relieving her of her duties. I would imagine so. But hopefully he still got paid at least.
Oh, well, according to Trick, he was not paid. He offered them a discount because he was booked through a friend. And they still, as of the 2 days later, or maybe it was the next day, he still had not received the rest of his payment.
But was that related to a contract where they discussed with him, not using certain lyrics in the music that he would be performing, and then it became a breach of contract thing?
Could have been, because if it was a contractual obligation, then it would have been no argument. It would have just been like, hey, you breached a contract, so you're not getting paid, and we're cutting the mic. But nobody mentioned the contract.
Somewhere down the line, somebody dropped a ball before he even got on stage.
Kaya,
the ball was dropped. Booking Trick Daddy.
Who could have been booked?
Kaya,
cussing Kaya.
You know Kaya. Don't make me name the hit.
I think the ball was dropped.
What they do?
I think the ball was dropped.
Do not mention her on here because I do not want to come up on her show.
I think the ball was dropped. Booking Trick Daddy. Period. End of story.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say, they could have found. I mean, I'm always for a good Anita Baker. I think she's safe.
Is Auntie still coherent like that to be?
Yeah. Most definitely.
Yeah. I thought at that last run she had, she was kind of like,
No, that it was just she just no, it wasn't nothing. I think she was just being kind of trifling that day, but no, she's still very much coherent. I tell you who's not. Gladys Knight isn't. I think that's kind of obvious. And we love Gladys, but it's time for her to take it on home.
Dang.
But enough about Trick Daddy before we get on his radar. He'd be like, man, who these talking to me about?
For the record, Trick, I spoke up for you.
And other news, the astronauts are back from what is it? The Artemis.
That was quick, huh?
Yeah, they did as high as gas is, they probably gonna stay out there too long. I don't know how that works.
Well, they might not want black folks out there because there's a black man aboard, so might have been some issues there. That was quick though. How long they gone? Like legit, like 2 days?
No, it was like a week. A week or 2 weeks, something like that. But I can say, like, someone who went to our college actually had a hand in getting the
somebody
ship.
we know?
Yeah, somebody we know. I mean, I'm not gonna name them.
Well,
but,
no, I'm just asking.
Yeah, but yeah, had a hand in whatever they do to get the ship up there. Like,
press the button to launch it.
No, it's like Hidden Figures when they be doing the equations and all of that.
Oh,
that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, that happens to be in the same fraternity as me. And so, we were very proud of him for that. But it was something to see those parachutes come down. But there are still people on Instagram that are saying, y'all believe in these people, this AI, just like they, it's
just like the last fake.
Yeah, just like the last fake moon landing. And so I guess the question is, what do you think it would take for people to believe that, hey, that actually happened? But it's kind of difficult now because 60, 50 years ago when they did it the first time, we didn't have AI, but now there's AI that is very believable. So it's like, I kind of get it, but then I don't.
I don't think there's anything you could really do to legitimately like convince anybody, because people are gonna think what they're gonna think unless you go take them to the moon and land and sit them there. Otherwise, I don't think you could really just make somebody believe it.
You can't convince people of anything because we have a president in office, and you can't convince the people that voted for him that, hey, this was the wrong choice.
Talk about it.
Are we doing politics right now? Are we doing?
It's a topic that's impacting
doing us.
Well, I mean, as we were talking about Trick Daddy, and him and Trick Daddy kind of use the same verbiage. Trick asked who wanted the 8. He said he wants to grab him by the, so it's the same. Hey. They're in the same category.
No, Trick is not a rapist. Trick is also not a criminal.
Facts.
A felon.
Facts.
That's true.
Do not count Trick.
Well, I was just saying the language that they use. They kind of pull from.
And so again, that goes back to my point where this is who this person is, right? So despite that man being our president, who is he as a person? Who does he present himself as? Because he sure doesn't present himself as a president. Not with the cursing that he's been doing. And I love a cuss word now. I love a cuss word.
What did he tell that reporter? Shut up, piggy.
Some things are just uncouth. You're the president of the United States, right? These things that this man is posting, it's out of control. It's out of control. And in a world where so many things are going on and we have so much access to social media, creating our own thoughts about things, right? This person creates hysteria on a daily basis with the way that he tweets.
Well, and they told us that under him gas was going to be low. Groceries were going to be low, affordable, if you will. But we can all attest that that's not the case.
Hell no.
Because it cost $70 to fill my truck up. I mean, I just stop it at 50 because I'm not
have a luxury car.
Yeah, I'm just stopping it. No, I'm talking about the pickup truck. Yeah, I stop at 50 because that's all you're getting.
Then other than that, the pickup truck is old, so it does take a lot of gas.
Yeah, we both drive old pickup trucks.
Hey, don't do that. I'm aware.
Yeah,
I'm aware.
I
was just making a point that
my paint
the gas
isn't peeling.
What?
My paint isn't peeling.
Yeah,
but it's filthy on the inside.
Okay. We are not, whether it's old, new,
The
luxury or not. The gas prices.
The back doors don't work.
The gas prices are high, and when we talk about delusions, when people are delusional about things, people are delusional about things that are clear as day, as opposed to them making up a story about whether these people went to.
But I think in that case, the delusion is very different from like, hey, I just refuse to believe that we go to the moon. I think that delusion is rooted in just racism. Like, hey, I want to stick to this. I want to stick to this man's side because he believes what I believe. He stands for what I stand for. and I just want to stick to him. I'm going to stick to that side, and that's where that delusion is what it's based in.
The truth of the matter is, those people who are on the far right would rather see this country burn down than see opportunity for all
that
people
don't look like them.
Yeah, people that don't look like them, even of a different gender of them. They are all for one group winning, and and I think they're honestly paying us back for the Obama era, because it's like, how dare you have this golden age of opportunity and diversity as the face of the United States. And so they're doing everything they can to take us back to 1950 and before. And, because they didn't have a problem with Biden, in the words of one of those memes, they had a problem with that black gal he had with him, which was Kamala. But,
Here we are.
Here we are.
So based on like all that, because we can go on and on about the ridiculousness that continues to unfold every single day. What are some like new perspectives that you guys have on any of the things that we talked about, whether it was politics, Trick Daddy, or any of the other topics that we've talked about today? Like any new thoughts, like, hey, I once would have kind of approached this from this way, or I would have thought this about this particular subject, but I see it differently now.
I mean, I think definitely when we talk about politics, during the last run, I had a lot of anxieties about, that president doing those things and how he executed, how he ran the office. This time around, old dogs, same tricks. His cabinet, him, his people, cronies, whatever you want to call them. And so at this point, it's just like, I can't control it. There's nothing I can do about it. I try to find laughter in it because these people are absolute morons.
Insanity. I would say, my new perspective, I'm going to go back to Trick Daddy right quick. I would say my perspective with that is, I thought that, all of our organizations, especially the Big Five, that everyone would have the sense to have the common sense not to,
I wish I could see the body language,
to put themselves in a position that they did. But I have learned from this situation that no matter how sophisticated the organization may be, that there's still opportunity for them to make very poor choices. And they're kind of like, the laughing stock amongst everyone. But it'll
We
pass.
are going to give our fellow D9ers grace. We're going to do that.
Yeah, we are. We are going to give them grace.
They need to give Trick grace.
No, they need to give Trick his money. Yeah, they
too.
They need to give him his money.
Also, and as well.
But yeah, that's all I got as far as my new perspective.
What else did we talk about? We talked about Trick. We talk about politics. We talk about, what was the other thing we touched on?
Astronauts.
Yeah, we didn't stay on that too long.
Well, I think my new perspective for that is that, I'd loved to see an African American male in our age and our generation be able to be seen.
Who is a member of the D9?
Absolutely, sure is. And to have his family on display with him, I think that is a great
representation.
Yes, absolutely. Words out of my mouth of what can be, right? And I think that's so important. Hidden Figures was an excellent movie, right? And it showed people, that women of color could be so involved and do so many wonderful things. But I think for us, especially in the age that we live in now, and when we talk about delusion or people thinking things are AI, having real base things go on and people being able to see that you can achieve. I think that's so important.
And let's not forget about Dr. Mae Jemison, the first African American woman to go into space.
Absolutely.
Back in 92. And so, just to see, for her to be able to live to see, it again, I'm sure is a great feat. And the young man that went into space this go around stands on her shoulders, and the Hidden Figures and all those scientists of color that have gotten us to this point.
Most definitely.
Absolutely. Any final thoughts, final perspectives as we get ready to close out our first episode of Old Friends, New Perspectives?
Be kind to us. We're learning.
And if you get in the comments and try to play in our face, I can't speak for the other two co-hosts. But yeah, I'm gonna take a few pages out of Trick's book and handle them accordingly.
Constructive criticism.
Listen, you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes.
Oh, but no, Jill is right. Give us some grace. We are excited about this opportunity, and hopefully, like I said earlier, that it would inspire you to get with your friends and just reconnect and just talk about the world and look at different perspectives and visit old ones and see if those things have changed and maybe they've stayed the same. So that's all I got.
And also, I know we were joking about giving Trick grace and stuff, but also just give people grace in general. People who don't look like you, people who don't agree with you. I think it's just a safe practice to give grace all around. Don't be a fool, but definitely give grace. Be kind. And I think that's it. We can sign off.
We're like Delilah. Do y'all know Delilah on the radio?
I've heard you mention Delilah, but I don't know who that
Jill,
is.
do you know Delilah?
I do not.
I love Delilah.
Shout out to Delilah.
Shout out to Delilah.
See ya.
See y'all later.
Night, folks.
Follow us for updates and new episodes at Old Friends, New Perspectives on all social media platforms and wherever you stream podcasts.